Things I have to do is to come to church, a Sunday, whenever I have to minister the word, just come and sit in the congregation. All the times that I've been here over the past couple of years, I've had to be ministering. And I say, I must turn up a Sunday morning and just be part of the congregation. I want to thank the pastor, Reverend Springer, and his board for affording me this opportunity to come and share with you. I also want to offer congratulations to those who are celebrating their birthday in the best month of the year. There are a lot of pretenders. There are a lot of pretenders who want to say other months are the best. But there is no month that is as beautiful as January. I have been affirming that for the last 69 years. So if you have any questions about that, go and ask my mother. But January is raised high. We're not going to get, this is not debatable, you know. It's not debatable. You keep what you have and rejoice in it. You understand? But there can be only one best. And I affirm with all the others who are celebrating in January that this is the best. I see a lot of familiar faces, some that I've known over the years, and what I'm also seeing is that some of them, I'm seeing much more of them now than the last time I saw some of them. You can interpret that how you want. But it's good to see all of you. I want to share a simple word with you from St. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 13. But before I get into this, I'm going to give Sister Warren an opportunity to say something to you. I don't know what she would want to say or how long she would want to say it for. But Sister Warren, at this time I offer you the opportunity to speak as your heart.
I would like to say blessings on you all. And I wish you all the very best and a Christ-filled 2017. It's good to be here.
It was several weeks ago, maybe 2 months or so ago, that your pastor approached me about coming here today. And I hope that when I'm finished this morning, that you nor he won't tell me don't come back next Sunday. Because I'm scheduled to come back next Sunday. When I took the 2 Sundays, and I think I almost did it immediately, because at that point in time, when he spoke to me, there was nothing in the pipeline. So I told him, okay, talking on, yeah. But you know what has happened since then? The Sunday school superintendent at the church where I worship asked me if I would like to teach a Sunday school class this year. And I told her, no problem. But I had already given my commitment to be here this morning and next Sunday. So I told her, well, but I want you to know that the second Sunday and the third Sunday of the year, I will be there to teach the class. So, my Sunday school class has somebody. I don't even know who's in the class. Because they're starting over new from today. So the classes are there. I suppose they will be told that I'll be teacher, but I'll be there on the 22nd, it would be. But I'm happy to be here. Amen. I want to get into the word because time can go so fast. And I don't want time to run out on us this morning. So go to St. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 13. We're going to read from verse 24 to verse 30. And I am still in the King James Version. I have not transitioned to the New King James Version, nor the NIV, nor any of the other versions they have. I'm still in the King James Version. And my reason for staying in the King James Version is that if I switch to one of the other versions, I have to learn over all the things that I already know. And at this time in my life, I'm not prepared to put myself through that. Right? So I stick with what I have, and here I am. Right, reading from verse 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then have it tares? He said unto them, An enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest he gather up the tares, he root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. And then down at verse 36. Then Jesus sent the multitude away, and went into the house. And his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. May the Lord add the testimony to his word. Father, for this moment we have prayed, for this moment we have waited. We thank you for all that you have shown us through your word. We pray now that your Holy Spirit, who has been here this morning ministering to us through song, will minister to our hearts through your word. And may you be glorified. May we be edified. In Jesus' name. Amen. The theme which you are working on for the year and which I was given, I find to be a very interesting one. Let's be the church, not just go to church. And when I began to think about the theme and wondered, what can I say in relation to this theme? That passage of scripture was the first one that came to me. And I tend, in my preparation, whatever comes to me first, I stick with. Because I don't believe that God is a God of confusion, so he's not going to give me 10 things. Give me one. So the passage which we have just read, and for which Christ gave an explanation, is one which we have heard several times before. So it is not my intention this morning to go through the passage and talk about who the tares are. You just read it. Who the tares are, who the wheat, who the enemy is, and who is the owner of the field. So you heard it. So I'm not going back through that. So taking that passage and bearing your theme in mind, let's be the church, not just go to church. My theme for today is crisis in the church, the growth of hypocrisy. Crisis in the church, the growth of hypocrisy. One Bible commentator reminds us the visible church, which is, that's because we are visible. And I'm not going to necessarily remind you that the church is not the building. We know that. That is old stuff, so I don't have to repeat that for you. If you're hearing it for the first time, let's take it. You who are servants of God, you are the visible church. And whether you want to accept it or not, as the text says, that the owner of the field planted good seed in the field. Amen. So you're a good seed. You're good people planted in the church. But the word said an enemy came and in the midst of the good people who are in the church, the enemy came and seated some hypocrites. Now when I was pastoring, one of the things that used to concern me in the early days, I can't even say youthful enthusiasm, because when I started to pastor, I wasn't that youthful. How to deal with hypocrites in the church? One of the things that I have come to accept, no, I don't even know if I should accept it, but one of the things that I have come to accept based on this passage is that there will always be an hypocrite in the church. And what I tell myself is, Lord, help me not to be it. But the problem with hypocrites in the church is that they get in the way, they stand in the way of the outsiders, they stand in the way of those who stand one side and criticize, because they say, and let me put this in vision for you, I ain't going in there with them because all of them in there is a bunch of hypocrites. You've heard it? I'm sure this morning is not the first time you've heard it. I've heard it all through my life. So the hypocrites in the church have a negative impact upon the good people in the church. Now, you have also heard in the past that there is no significant difference in behavior or development between the tares and the wheat. You've heard that. the only distinguishing characteristic between the tares and the wheat was at the time of fruit bearing. And Jesus said it long time ago, by their fruits you shall know them. So it does not take a magician, or it does not take any great insight to recognize who is the tare from who is the wheat. Because their fruit, their lifestyle, their behavior is what makes the difference. So this Bible commentator say that we, the church, we are the kingdom of heaven, and there are many hypocrites in it. But he says that Christ still rules, you know. Christ still rules in this place. Christ rules in this place. So he affirms that the church is the kingdom of heaven upon earth. So even in the kingdom of heaven upon earth, there are people who are less than they ought to be. Jesus accepts that the church belongs to him. What did he tell Peter and the apostles when Peter said, "Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God"? He said, "I say unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail." Now I want you to know that what Christ said is true. The devil will always try to disrupt the word of Christ, but he shall not prevail, because this is God's church. And I want to say to the members of the board, I want to say to all the officers of the church, when you are getting trouble with cantankerous people, just put them in the hand of God, because this is God's church and they can't prevail. But even after Christ said, "This is my church and I will build it," in the face of the attacks of the enemy, in the Acts of the Apostles, we are told right on the day of Pentecost, right after it, when the Apostle Peter preached that tremendous sermon, Acts chapter 2. He said the people were praising God, and they had favor with all the people, and the Lord added to the church daily such as should be saved. So the Lord will continue to add to his church. That is why I'm here in 2017 and I'm seeing faces that I did not see in 2014 when I was here. Because the Lord will add to his church. So when you get bitter and angry and disappointed and say, "Those people in there are too miserable, I'm leaving," go, because the Lord will bring back in somebody better than you. There are three things out of this text that I want to look at, and I hope I can do so briefly. When I look at my theme, crisis in the church, the growth of hypocrisy. Three things. One, that the crisis in the church is caused by the enemy. And the leaders in the church who ought to be weak, did you hear what I said? The leaders in the church who ought to be weak need to understand what the Apostle Paul, and all of us need to understand what the Apostle Paul said in Ephesians chapter 6. That we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, and against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness. So when you and I are faced with misunderstandings in the church, we need to understand that the crisis in the church, where there is a growth of hypocrisy, is caused by the enemy of the church. It's not caused by you. So don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself, when things go wrong. It's caused by the enemy of the church, who wants to disrupt everything. The other thing that I want to look at is that the crisis in the church, it brings concerns, and I'm stretching this one here a little bit, from the employees of Christ. And who I call employees of Christ, because Paul said that we are laborers together with God. So if you're a laborer in God's kingdom, you are an employee of God. So I'm saying that the crisis in the church brings concern. So if you belong to the church, when you see things going wrong in the church, you should have some kind of concern. You cannot be indifferent to what is going on. And the third point that I want to look at is that the crisis in the church shows commitment to the enterprise of Christ. And I use enterprise there because he planted a vineyard. It's a word, so it's an enterprise. Okay. It's caused by the enemy of Christ. If you look at verses 25, 28, and 39, it is clearly stated who caused this crisis. While men slept, the enemy came. Verse 26, Jesus speaking, he said unto them, an enemy have done this. And verse 39, the enemy that sowed the tares is the devil. So you cannot want it pointed out to you more clearly that when hypocrisy presents its head in the church, when confusion raises its ugly head in the church, that it is the devil himself who is doing it, nobody else. He may be using individuals, but don't beat the individual on the head. Hold them and pray for them, because they are being used. And when you recognize that you are a person who is causing confusion in the church, you need to stop and say, look, Satan, I'm not letting you use me anymore. Because all of us know when we are wrong. And there's some of us, when we are wrong, we want to be strong. Headache. And you need to come to a place and recognize that this is God's kingdom. The church is God's kingdom. And you cannot be in God's kingdom and be causing disruption. Let me look very quickly at 3 of the characteristics of the enemy. First, he's a deceiver. So he will get you to think in ways that you shouldn't be thinking. If you go back into the Garden of Eden with the serpent, Genesis chapter 3, this is what the serpent said. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Is that true? What did God say to the woman? The day you eat, you shall die. So Satan came with his tricks and tell the woman, no, you're not really going to die, because God knows. And I don't know if there are students of literature in here, but you know Shakespeare was a student of the Bible. In one of his books, I think it's The Merchant of Venice, he said that the devil can quote scripture for his own purpose. Yeah. And he was referring to this. God knows that the day that you meet, you shall be as God. Woo! Knowing good and knowing evil. You're not really going to die. You're going to become a God. He has started to smell big. I'm going to be like God. Wow! I didn't know this. Satan is a deceiver. He deceived Eve. And he's had all of these centuries in practicing deception. And he's still deceiving us today. Because there's some of us who want to play with Satan and think that we can get away, and he's still wrapping us around his finger. Don't let Satan fool you. Why do you think that there are so many people who turn their back on the kingdom of God and say, oh, and you go to church? Church day. There's no life in the church. I mean, when you go to church, you can't go this place, you can't do this, and you can't do the next thing. Isn't that what he says to you? That's what he tells you? No, you're sitting down right in front of me, so that's a dangerous place to be in. I like to pick on people. It's alright, isn't it? And you give me a smile, so that's one. But he's a deceiver. And he finds all ways to deceive people. And he's still practicing his deceit today. But he's not only a deceiver, he is a destroyer. Because when he succeeds in his deception, it leads to destruction. What happened with Eve? When she and Adam heard God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, what happened to them? They went hiding. They went hiding. And then God called Adam. He said, Lord, I heard your voice and I went hiding myself with us. Huh? How do you know that you were naked? Because they were fooled. They were fooled big time. But he's a destroyer. He destroyed the relationship which Adam and Eve had in the garden with God. When God came down in the garden in the cool of the day, he had communion and fellowship with Adam and Eve. And Satan, through his deception, destroyed that relationship. But Jesus said in John chapter 10, verse 10, the thief, who is the same Satan, he comes not but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Look how many young people in Barbados and around the world whose lives are destroyed by the use of illicit drugs. Because they're fooled. And one of the things which amazed me about the world in which we live, for all my life growing up as a youngster, I heard that smoking is bad and it causes cancer. You heard it too? Yes. And they will show you pictures and give you examples of people whose health was affected by smoking. They even come up now with a theory that those of us who don't smoke, but we are in the company of people who smoke, the secondhand smoke can also affect you. Smoking is bad for your health. But you know what Satan is telling people? Marijuana is good for your health. And they want to legalize it. And they want to give you medical marijuana and all kinds of garbage they are telling you. And those of you who surf the net and do all the other things, you will know that there are some societies in Europe who legalized marijuana years and years ago, that there are human zombies walking about the streets of those cities, whose brains have been fizzled because of the use of marijuana. And let me tell you this if you don't know. And I know that you know it. That when you start to use marijuana, it creates an urge within you for other stuff. So you move from this soft marijuana and you move up to the other stuff. I'm not even sure that I know what the other stuff is, but I hear some of the names. And it destroys your life. It destroys your life. I don't know that I have to bring any further examples of that, because in your own community you can look and see that there are young people, or maybe older ones, whom you know as bright, intelligent young people who went to some of the best schools in this nation, and their lives are a wreck today because of the use of drugs. I don't talk about alcohol. The abuse of alcohol. A lot of people criticize first the Pilgrim Holiness Church and now the Wesleyan Holiness Church, because we say abstain. That's our philosophy. But you know how Satan is fooling a lot of people nowadays? The same Bible says, take a little bit for your stomach's sake. So that is what a lot of people are quoting nowadays, because the Bible says, take a little bit for your stomach's sake. But I like the principle of the Wesleyan Holiness Church. Abstain. You see, because when you take a little bit today, the thing is so addictive. You take a little bit today, you take a corkful this morning and tomorrow morning, but the next day you don't want a corkful. You want a little more. Now, I can tell you something about my personal life. I believe I might have said this over here already. If I haven't, I can repeat it. Those of you who have heard it already, just bear with me. There's some who might not have heard it. I used to be a strong drinker. As we used to say in our day, look how she's looking at me now. In my group, we used to drink from wine to elegance. And I remember a Saturday, every day, you know, every day. And I remember a Saturday evening, I was home. I don't know what had me home at all.